Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What are we doing today? If you've been following along this last couple of videos, you'll see that I've been doing a whole lot of traveling and there's been a whole lot of events that have been back to back. And this next project is because we have one more event that we need to go to, which requires an outfit. So we have a wedding to go to in Montenegro. I've got 7 days before we are leaving again. And in that 7 days, I need to make one pair of shoes and one dress. I already have some nice summer clothes thanks to my Barcelona trip and just me making summer dresses here, there and everywhere. So I think we're okay for the rest of the actual trip, but for the actual wedding, I do not have anything. But that is what we're doing for this video. I have 7 days, and this is 7 days also including a day to get rid of this hair because I've had it in for about 8 weeks. It's not doing so well with all like the traveling and everything. That needs to go. I need to get my hair done. We need to do our nails. We need to be prepared for a wedding and also for a holiday and make the actual clothes. So I'm going to be cutting it fine. And we're going to do it anyway. Like, I don't have a choice. We got to do it. I don't have time to go shopping and buy something. And I don't really want to buy something when I know that I can make something that will fit me properly. So let's go. Let me tell you what I'm going to make.
Okay, so this is the dress. The website is Help Us Sew. They do beautiful patterns on here. And as you can see, price is right. That's the current exchange rate. But look how gorgeous this dress is. It absolutely screams European summer wedding. So this is what we're going to be going for. Obviously, I'm not going to look like her in it. I'm going to look like me, but I will be going possibly for a green. So I'll see if I can show you some more pictures. You can see it's got some darts in the back at the top, the bottom. We've got like a thigh slit, and then we've got some ruching, and it's a thin strap on the shoulder. So this is what we are going for the wedding, and it's a really, really gorgeous dress. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to make it out of also a silk as well. So we're going to have to do a mock-up, I think, because I don't know how this is going to fit right out of the box. So that's what we're going to be making. Let's talk fabric.
So for fabric, we have 3 choices. We have this kind of a cinnamon burnt orange, which I actually picked this one up like 6 months ago, and I was originally going to use this one, but then I went to Amsterdam recently, not for Beyonce, before that, and I picked up this mustard, which is also gorgeous, and I picked up this like dark forest green. Now I'm very partial to a forest green, and now that I've seen the dress in the green, I feel like this would be like the nicest contrast against my skin. This also looks gorgeous, and this also looks gorgeous, but I think this is going to be the colour, although I'm still kind of deciding. I keep going back and forth, but I don't know, guys. I think it's going to be this. Like, I love green so much, and I think it would look really nice, like, with, like, imagine, like, the coastline of Montenegro, and you've got like the blue of the water and the sky, and you've got like green of the trees and just beautiful flowers. I think this would be so gorgeous. So yeah, I'm making my mind up. I think we're going to use the green. So, but we're not going to use it straight away. I need to make a mock-up because I don't know how this is going to look on my body. We might have to do some adjustments. So with these colours in mind, I was trying to decide what kind of shoe I want to make. We're going to go with a strappy number, and we're going to use this vinyl that I also picked up at the same time as this. I was thinking green and gold go really well together. These two also go very well. And as you can see, it's like a mirror finish vinyl. And originally, when I was thinking of these shoes, I was going to use this heel, which I currently also have some of these on my Etsy store. So if you're interested in this heel, because I thought, oh yeah, look, the gold, it's perfect. It's a little bit of interest, something like an interesting shoe. And we were going to go with like a roundish toe. I have since then got myself a pointed last, so because I kind of want the shoe to be pointed. It's still going to be strappy, but I want the base to be pointed. And since then, I've also got myself some new heels. Now, these I got from the same factory. I got these, so you have to kind of get 5 pairs. So the rest of these will go on my Etsy as well if you like the look of them. But I think this if you look, it matches absolutely. So I think that would actually be really, really nice with the pointed toe. You're gonna have to use your imagination here, but we're gonna have like the heel like this, and imagine a strap, or I still haven't designed the front of the shoe, but some sort of strappy business here with some sort of like ankle strappy business here, something around the ankle to keep the shoe on my foot, because I plan to dance and I don't want to wear a mule that I accidentally flick off into the crowd with my over enthusiastic dancing. But look how fun this heel is. I think it is a perfect match, so I'm very, very happy. I've got the pattern here which needs to be stuck together, so that is the first thing we're going to do. Then we can start measuring and having a look and see what it looks like on the body.
Alright, so we've cut everything out. For this dress, they ask you to go by your bust size. And I thought, just because my bust loves to vary day to day, I'd add an extra centimetre, but that is actually my bust size at the moment. The waist, I need to add about 3 centimetres for it to be comfortable because it's a non-stretch material. And on my hip, I need to add 5 centimetres. So those are the things that I need to do. So I'm going to kind of measure on this and myself where it needs to be put, and then we're going to add that in paper, and then we're going to cut it out. And if it fits, then we're going to go straight into the silk version. Let's go.
Okay, after a little bit of calculation and some cutting and sticking, we have modified the pattern to fit my waist measurements and the hip. I actually need to shave it down a little bit, but this is the front skirt and the front skirt. We've also added a little bit to the waistline, but tapered it off because the bust is fine. And I've also done that to the lining pieces, so everything should line up perfectly. And now we're going to cut it out in calico. I've got a really nice lightweight one that should work, and we're going to do that to test the initial fit. Because the skirt is full length, we're only going to kind of like cut to here just so that it goes past the hips, so I know what it's like to possibly like the knee or the mid thigh. Anything else down there should be fine as long as it fits from basically just past the hip. We know that the rest of it will fit, and it means I don't waste too much fabric. So that is what we're going to do now, and then we'll sew it up and see how it fits. As you can see, I have made a mock-up version. I haven't made it all the way to the floor because I didn't want to waste too much fabric, but I did want to get a look at how it fits over the hips and over the bust. Now, as you can see, I actually think this is a pretty good fit. I did have a little bit of issues because I think with my pattern, I added what I needed to the hip, but what I didn't do is taper it off to the measurement of my hip. So I need to make those measurements, and then adding the top to the bottom will look a little bit more seamless. But I actually think this is a really nice fit. Imagine this is silk, but I think that the ruching is quite flattering, going up this way and down that way. And this is it. So this is what it looks like from the back. There may be a little bit of an issue with the fat here, so maybe we might bring that up a little bit so that it's not hanging over. But otherwise than that, this is what it looks like, and I quite like it. Okay, so I made it out of this silk satin. It's actually a polyester, but I have like loads of it, so I thought before I cut out the green, let me just see what it's like, because the calico has a slightly little bit of stretch. This doesn't, and I'm really glad I did, because even with the adjustments, I still can't zip it up here. My boobs are slightly too big. I've tried it without the sports bra, but I'm glad I didn't cut into the fabric, because that would have just ruined it. It would have been slightly too small. I need to do a bust adjustment here to give me some space for the boobs so that I can zip it up in the side. Other than that, everything's fine. I like how it fits across the hip, and I actually really like the length. This one I did all the way to the floor. Okay, so I spent a lot of time trying to modify the pattern to just make it fit a little bit more comfortably, but I didn't want to add too much on the side so that it warps the pattern completely. So instead of doing a full bust adjustment, which honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not very good at doing them. I do them kind of rarely, mostly because my bust size changes quite regularly. So one full bust adjustment is not the same as another, and I have to do it almost every time, and I find that tiresome. So what I did is just went up a size in the pattern and did a little mock-up, and it fits perfect. I mean, not perfect, I could maybe take a little bit off on the waist, but that is a minor adjustment. It happens sometimes. Sometimes the measurements that you have, it isn't the right cup size. They're normally based on a C cup, and I'm like an F cup, so it's going to be different. But yeah, one size up, really good fit. So we're going to go with that. So I've made the small adjustments to the waist, a little bit on the hip, and we're all good. I cut it out this morning in the green. I didn't want to make a fourth mock-up, so we're just going to get into it, because we also have shoes to make, and I have like 3 days to get it done. So we are on Friday. I'm leaving next Thursday, but now we're going to London on Monday. So I've got this weekend to get kind of everything done, because I'm going to be in London on Monday to get my hair done. I'll be back on Tuesday evening, and I've got Wednesday to pack, and then we're leaving on Thursday. So we like to cut it fine here. So yeah, today we are just going to be sewing this dress up, and hopefully it will be done. I've already sewn it twice, so I know what I'm doing, and this time we're going to do it at 100%. We're going to do everything right. We're going to put the interfacing in. We're going to put all the little things. We're going to make sure everything is finished correctly so that we've got a perfect dress at the end of it. Right, let's go. I've just sewn the bodice. As you can see, it is inside out. I'm going to turn it out, and we hope that this is as neat as I'm going for. Got some nice ruching going on there, and on this side as well. I mean, it's looking pretty nice. Ooh, okay. I'm excited. When it's done, should look like that, and yeah, that's definitely gonna zip up and be perfect. Hopefully we can get this done this afternoon. It's like lunchtime now. I just need to put the skirt together and the zip, and then this dress is done. This dress comes together pretty quickly after you've done all the cutting, which is great because that gives me more time to get the shoe portion, which I haven't even designed. I've just got a vague idea, so we have to do that. Alright, so it is Saturday. I have been doing lots of other things, including trying to take out my hair, but I put the zip in the dress last night, but I didn't get to try it on, so I've got it on now. I think I need to do the zip again, but at least I can zip it all the way up and show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like, and I'm really happy with it. The bodice fits perfectly, which is great. It might be a little bit tighter when I fix this zip. The length is to the floor, which is perfect because I'm going to be wearing a heel, And I actually think I want the slit to be maybe 1 inch higher, just to give you a little bit more room in the leg. And I added a centimetre on the hips so that it kind of just flows down instead of being tight like this. This is originally how it's supposed to be, but I think I like it flowing down like this. So this is the dress. So, dress is finally done. You're going to have to wait to the end to see what the whole outfit looks like. I don't have time to show you because now we got to make some shoes. We love to cut it fine. It's, you know, I love the pressure. Like, we act like we hate it, but I do some of my best work under pressure. Now, let's make some shoes.
All right, so we don't have a lot of time, so we typed in gold shoes on Pinterest. And this is what it's giving me. And you know what? Already I'm seeing some like good ideas. I mean, that's cute, but I don't have time for that. These also cute. Don't have time for that. They won't have a platform, so they'll probably be flat. And we already know that the heel is going to be an egg heel. So we're kind of going for something simple like that. But I completely forgot about this rhinestone rope that I also picked up, as well as this half round rhinestone. And I think it actually looks nice as a combo. Maybe we do a little ankle thing that is purely decorative with the rhinestone. I don't know. Okay, let's figure this out.
I have these shoes from Zara, which I've worn like once and totally forgot to take the sticker off, which I find highly annoying, but it is what it is. I like the squarish but also slanted shape of this toe. So we're going to use this as a template to trace this onto this so I have the right shape. What I'm actually going to do is slide this into the shoe until it basically matches the back. This is me cheating. So it kind of matches the back and this curve here, and you'll see that it's sticking out. And then I'm going to use my pencil to trace around this and then cut it off. And then I'm going to use this one to trace onto the other side, and then I'll have my pair. The next thing I can do after that is cover this in this fabric, because this is going to be the base of the fabric. So I can do that first and still be deciding what kind of straps I want, because that goes on after. So that's what we're going to do right now. Sunday now, and last night I started on the shoes, and I actually think we've got some good progress. This is what we did last night. This took so long because it's vinyl. I got through so much of this. Look at all the scraps, because they didn't quite go round like I needed to, so I had to use the heat gun to kind of heat it up a little bit, not so much that it melts, and then stretch it around. So as you can see, now we've got a nice outside bit. I made some straps with the glue. And then the last thing that we need to do is cover the front bit of this. I think I made this one slightly too small, so I have cut out 2 more here, and I need to glue them on. Because I'm using this vinyl and not leather, using the water-based glue has been really difficult. So I've had to use the stronger stuff, and this stuff has fumes. So I've been working with the window open, but that really wasn't enough yesterday. So I had my little fan on, but Sam has now said that we can't have these kind of fumes in the house. Even though I had the window open, it wasn't enough. So we need to take this whole operation to the garden, because the fumes are too much to be in this one room and there's not enough ventilation in here. So I'm going to pack this all up, and I have to take it all to the garden because we've got a lot more gluing to do, and the rest of this vlog is going to happen from the outside garden table. Okay, so we are all set up in the garden. Got the extension lead to the plug outside. We've got the camera set up. We've got my shoes ready to go. Heat gun. All the things I need. And we've got like a really nice big dining table, so I've put the chairs like away. We got everything. Also, we have my cat in the bush. Hi Jake, say hi. Hi Bubba. We're gonna do some shoemaking outside. So yeah, this is the setup now. I'm gonna apologize now for like the quality, because obviously it's pretty sunny today, so it might go in and out of shade. When the sun gets to this tree here, it blocks it all out, so it will be nice and shaded. But this is where we're finishing the video. Okay, so I think this is what the final design is going to look like. I've masking taped it on. I'm going to have a crisscross at the front, a little hook for the heel at the back with a loop there, and then this will loop through that as well as that, so that they're attached, and then we'll put a buckle on the side. And then what we'll find at the end, we will put this going across the middle, but it will be mostly decoration as just like a diamante strip in the middle. I think that's going to be the plan. Fun fact, I am a procrastinator, and if there's something that I need to do on a deadline, I mean, I'll get it done, but not without stress. I'm working on it. As you can see, I'm in my greenhouse right now, and there are reasons for this. One, we started off in the garden this morning. Everything was going fine. And then Sam was like, hey, you want to go out for lunch? And I was just like, yeah, sure, I've got plenty of time. I don't have plenty of time, but I was like, yeah, we could go lunch, quick there and back. The there and back took like 3 hours. And now it's like 5:30 and it's raining, which means no more garden shoemaking. But I can't do it in the house. I've been banned. So we're in the greenhouse. Luckily, I have a humongous greenhouse. So yeah, we've set up, as you can see, I've set up a lovely table here in the greenhouse. It's well ventilated. We've got ceiling vents that are open because it's warm. And we also have power, light, and music. So we're going to be good. So I'm going to finish everything in here because, well, it's evening now. It's 6:30 and I've got lots of other stuff to do. While it was raining before though, I did take out my hair. So that's one thing off the list. But yeah, we need to finish these shoes before I go to bed tonight. Or at least most of it, because I can finish on Wednesday. Because remember, we're leaving on Thursday. But I want to get the majority done tonight. All right, so it's got sunny again, and there's no shade in here, so I'm really sorry if this looks terrible. So table is looking quite messy, but there is a method. This is what the shoe is currently looking like. Look at that, look how it shines in the sun. I'm so excited to wear these. Like, you can see like the sun reflection on them. They look amazing. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the last. So when you put it on, shoe looks like that. This bit at the top is gonna go around the ankle, and this bit's gonna go around the bottom. So it's gonna kind of look like that. Hopefully you can see, because it's pretty bright out here now, so hopefully you can see what that's looking like. Now I have to put my foot in it and make sure that it hits the right spot on my ankle, and then we can tape it, and then glue it in place. And then we're almost there. I've only put one hole in there and we need to make that shorter. Essentially, that is what it's going to look like. I did try to make a little loop, but it's not looking so great. So maybe I'll make another one, but that's what it's looking like so far. Don't mind the crusty foot. We're getting a pedicure in 2 days. So there we go. All right, it is like 10:30 in the evening. It is dusk. I love summer evenings because it's still light. And we are still in the greenhouse. I have finally got everything glued into place. What I've done is I've put some tape on it so that it can dry overnight in place. We've got the crisscross, we've got the rhinestone. This is just for a pretty sparkly thing. Then we've got the hook at the back here. And what I did, instead of making a loop, I made one giant loop and I cut it across with a stitch. So this one is like permanently in there and this one can be looped in and out. And I did that with both of them. I mean, it was quite fiddly work. This is my second ever pair of shoes. So for pair number 2, I actually think this is pretty good. I can see the mistakes that I've made, but I think this is absolutely good enough to wear out. So I'm gonna leave those shoes to dry. I'm gonna take them inside so they're not like just in the greenhouse. And if I leave it for more than 2 days, everything in here is gonna be covered in webs. So taking it inside to dry, and I'm going to London tomorrow, which is Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday evening. And when I get back, I will put the sole on and the heel on. And those are the easiest parts. The sole is just basically tracing the shape underneath, and then the heel is, once I've put the sole on, I'm going to screw the heel in at the bottom, and then the shoes are ready to go. But all the hard part is done and I can relax a little bit. Have to wash my hair because I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, so I'm going to put all this stuff away and then I'll catch up with you guys either Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning when I put the soles on. Remember, we've still got all of Wednesday and we're leaving on Thursday morning. So I've still got a day. I was going to use it for packing, but if I have to, I'll use it for more shoe things. So we've still got time and I'm very tired. So I'll see you then. I mean, are we seeing the vision? Are we seeing the vision? I think that is going to look great. I'm really happy with myself. Okay. It is Wednesday. It is the last day to get all of this done. The dress is done. The shoes are almost there. This has been drying for like 2 days, as you can see underneath. We need to put the sole, we need to put the heel, and then we need to put the insock, and then this shoe is done. So as you can see, went to London, got my hair done. We are almost ready for this wedding. A lot of effort's been put into this. Morning, we have plenty of time to get this done. I'm going to try not to procrastinate because I tend to do that a lot. We're just going to get into this. Last night when we got in, it was kind of late. I did cut out the templates for my insoles so I don't have to do that. So we've got the foam, and then I've got the leather that is going to go in the shoe, and I'll show you what that looks like. So if you can see, you've got like the inside of the insole board. This is some foam, which is going to make it nice and cushy for my foot and quite comfortable. And then we're going to cover that with this leather in this light color because I couldn't find one that was like pink, and that's going to cover the foam, and it's kind of going to look like a neater version of that. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew it so it's got like a stitch round, and then we glue it in, and that is going to be the inside of the shoe. So you'll see the gold here and the gold around the rim, but all of that red bit in the middle is going to be covered, and there's foam so it'll be nice and cushiony for my foot. Another thing I did yesterday was do a template of this, but also made sure that it fit this size. So this is what the sole is going to look like. So I pop it on here just to see how well it fits, make any adjustments, and this is what I'm going to cut out of the soling material. they need shaving down, but the point is they are on. All right, I have literally just had like a nightmare hour and a half. I have been trying to find a solution. So I was getting to the point where we were adding the heel. I was going to add the heel, and it's got this little thing that you need to put on underneath. I did everything right. I put the holes in, I did everything. And then when I actually went to stand up in the heel, it was so unstable that it was starting to do this and bend. I didn't want to break the shoe, so I took it off. I thought, maybe try again, try a different hole. Made a second hole. There's 2 holes in this heel, and again, unstable. So I might have to rethink this egg heel for a different kind of shoe, maybe a closed toe shoe. I don't know. So then I tried the original heels that I was going to use, but these ones are actually too short for the pitch. I should have used a mid-heel one. This is for a mid-heel last, but this is for a high heel shoe. So we had a bit of a problem. I went upstairs, I looked through every single one of my shoe heels, and also meanwhile it's raining, so the hair that I just straightened is starting to frizz up. So like lots of things happening. This table is a mess. Anyway, I tried these heels, but I didn't have enough cloth to cover them. The same with these ones, which are too short. So yeah, I didn't know what I was gonna do, but then I had a brainwave. I have a bag of shoes that I was taking to charity or were gonna go in the bin because they were just messed up in some way. In that was this pair of sandals. These ones were gonna go to charity. They're just a bit worn, and I don't really like to wear suede outside because they got a bit of water damage on them. But when I measured the heel, is exactly the right size. And then I checked how much of this fabric I had left, and I had just enough to cover the heel and put them on. So you know what I did? I took one apart. So it took me about half an hour. This is what the shoe looks like now. I basically just took out the screw, used the heat gun, pulled them apart, took off the heel, and then cut out a pattern so that we can still have a gold heel that will look like this. So now, instead of having this egg shoe, which at some point I will use, I just need to figure out what the best shoe to put this in. Instead, it's going to be a block heel, and it's gonna look like that. So still kind of the same look. If anything, it's more stable for me to wear and dancing because it's a block heel, and I can still keep everything else. But honestly, it was touch and go there for a moment. So here I am looking crazy, still in my greenhouse. It's 5 o'clock. In exactly 12 hours from now, I will be leaving for the airport. I need to take apart this other shoe to get this other heel. I'm gonna put the heels on, and then I can just do the inner socks, which I've already done. Just stick it in, and then I'm done. I'm done. I can rest. Actually, I can't rest. I need to paint my nails. But then I can rest, and then I can go to this wedding. Whew. Anyway, I'm glad that I found a solution. So now we're gonna do it. Also, it has the same kind of bottom as the shoe, and it hides all of my mistakes. So like, I'm so glad. I really didn't think it was gonna happen, but I'm so glad we're there. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna take this apart now, and hopefully we'll have some shoes in about an hour or so. After much screwing, shouting, breaking things, and throwing stuff across the room, we have heels on. Now, again, these are my second pair of shoes that I've ever made. So they're not the neatest thing, but I still think this is pretty good.
So all that we have left to do is to put the insock to cover all of these screws and all of that red, make it look nice and neat. And then we're good to go. So I'm going to go do that now because I have like 3 hours of this evening left before I have to go to sleep and get up and get on a plane. And I haven't packed yet. So let's get this done so I can just go to this wedding already. Right, the in socks are in and these shoes are finished. Right, I'm going to go pack. But next time you see these shoes, they'll be on my feet and I will be in Montenegro.